Morning, my name is Jay Rothman and welcome to my Hike and Heal Spontaneous Live. It is Monday morning in the US of A. I don't know what time it is, maybe 9:30 on the West Coast. I am wrapping up the back end of my Hike and Heal prayer and meditation, song, singing, laughing, crying a little bit, greeting people as I wait for some of you to join me on this live. Just gonna do a quick check-in, say good morning to you if you're coming in from overseas. In fact, it may be your evening. In Berlin, Germany, it's 9 hours later than it is here in the States. If you're coming in from Australia, the UK, India, Mumbai, the Netherlands, welcome to my spontaneous live. It is Monday morning here and I am smiling this morning. Why am I smiling? Oh, because I woke up. Yes, I woke up physically and I woke up emotionally and mentally and spiritually. I had what some refer to as an awakening. And it didn't happen today. It happened coming up on just a little bit under 4 years ago. But I'm really actually here to talk a little bit about a couple of things that happened to me this morning. Not to me, but for me. As I was hiking and I was doing some biohacking. I was biohacking my thoughts and my belief systems about healing, the healing process of the last diagnosis that I've been working on to release from my body. I met a woman who, as she walked by me, she had this beautiful smile on her face. Her name is Lori. And we ended up chatting. We stopped for maybe about 10, 15 minutes or so. And we connected. She said to me, I just absolutely love your energy and I want some of it. And so we that was enough for me to stop and say, well, what's going on? And we got to meet and chatted a little bit. And before I knew it, she opened up and shared that her husband right now, Todd, is going through some medical challenges of his own that are pretty, very, very, very significant. And but Lori is in a space where she is seeking answers. She is in discovery. She appears to have had her own awakening of sorts, and she just loved the conversation we had. I was so excited to meet her. I gave her one of my cards. I invited her to become part of our community, this community that we have here, where we inspire one another, that change is possible. We can heal. We just have to have the courage to step into our life and take back control. Take that control from, those that say it's impossible, and know that everything is possible. We just have to have faith over fear. As I take a moment to jump into the shade, Tammy Dublin, good morning. Mahar, good morning. Adele Jacobs coming in from South Africa. Good morning, good evening to you. And so the second conversation I had was with this beautiful woman. Her name is Beverly. She's actually coming up right behind me. So I'm going to talk a little bit lower right now. But she's a woman who's in her 70s and she comes out here every single day. And I always pass her, and sometimes she's in front of me and sometimes she's behind me. But somehow, some way we connect. And when we connect this morning, she's like, you know what? Today is an absolutely beautiful day, isn't it? And I was like, yes. Why do you say that? And she said, because we're alive, because we have this blessing. We have this mountain that we show up to every day. And just an absolutely incredibly beautiful woman who I get blessed to greet every morning and say good morning as I'm in some space of my own spiritual practice when I come out here. And then I met this other guy who I don't recall his name, but he's out here every single morning. And this morning we chatted for a few minutes. I asked him how long he's been coming out here. And he said since the trail was built, I believe he said 2005. I asked him, why does he come out here? And he said, because this is where it all happens to me. He goes, I get to spend some quiet time with myself. I get to think, I get to pray. I get to connect with myself and work on my physical well-being and my emotional well-being. And so it was just an absolutely beautiful morning, touching other people that decided to get out of the home and choose to come out here rather than, let's say, to the gym. I'm not saying the gym is a bad place to go. It's a great place to go to do some physical exercise. But out in nature is where we get to connect at the soul level, at the mind, the emotional, and the physical and the spiritual. And so if you have an opportunity, create that safe space for yourself where you can come out in nature. I did tremendous nature bathing this morning. I did a really hyped up biohacking exercise for myself as well. I'm feeling great. I wanted to touch on this morning. I was thinking about when I was a kid, and we used to all love Disney, and I'm sure if you've got kids or grandkids, they're still deep into Disney. And I remember being a kid, and at one point, my mom, I used to dream a lot. I used to dream about my future. And I remember I was, I think, a teenager in high school at the time. Supertramp had the song out, "You're Nothing But a Dreamer," and that actually was one of my favorite songs. But my mom said to me, she said, one day she said, "You're nothing but a dreamer." Good morning, Beverly. There we go. There's my beautiful friend, Beverly.
I'm
Dreaming. And so, I didn't see it as a positive. I actually felt like she was saying, she was actually putting me down. She was shaming me. It felt that way. That's how I received it. But what I ended up doing in life is I spent a lot of time dreaming. And a lot of things happened. Let's say, as far as my career goes, there was a lot of movement. There was a lot of success at the career level. But eventually, my dream turned into a nightmare. It was a nightmare because I hadn't done any of the work for myself. I hadn't done any healing of the inner child wounds and experiences and traumas that had impacted my life. And before I knew it, I was living in pretty much a constant state of a nightmare. Relationships broken, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I was bankrupt, and for sure my health had been compromised. And so today I asked the question, what type of dream are you living in? Is it a nightmare? Or is it going to have, let's say, what they say in Hollywood, a happy ending? Is it going to be an ending that feels good, that feels right? And here's how I choose to live my life today. And that is that I choose not to dream, but I choose to actually set intentions for myself. And I envision myself, my life differently in 6 months from now or a year from now. But I'm not living in the future. I just can create almost like what some refer to as a vision board and create what I envision my life to look like in the future. Some refer to that as a future trip, and at times I think it's important that we do go to the future, not to live in fear of the unknown, but to actually create and set our intentions of how we want our life to be, what it is that we want to achieve in life. And today, my future, my actual intention is not to make a whole lot more money, it's not about success from a financial standpoint, but it's from a success perspective of let's say, giving back to others, of inspiring others that through change, everything is possible. We can dream big today. Oh, we could dream big, but here's the catch. Here's the key point of dreaming big. We have to take massive action. We just can't dream it. We just can't pray for it. We've got to take action. That's action I'm talking about is emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. We've got to take action. If we want to see positive, healthy change in our own life, we can't just dream about it. We just can't think about it. We just can't sit in it. We just can't pray for it. We can do all those things, but we also have to take action. We have to be willing to walk through fear. We have to be willing to step through pain. We have to be willing to face our shadows and know that on the other side of that is what some refer to as inner peace, joy, contentment, fulfillment, creating what your purpose is going to be in your life for whatever time you have left. What is your purpose? Do you even know what your purpose is? And so I wanted to just kind of put that out there this morning as I wrap up this hike today. I didn't know when I got out here if I was going to take the hike to the end or at what point I was going to turn around. But, I got inspired this morning by Lori. I got inspired this morning by Beverly, who just passed me on this trail going down. And I was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. Yeah, I've got pain in my leg. I got pain in my calf, but I've walked through pain that was way worse than this pain today. And so I took it all the way to the end of the trail. And as I was hiking, as I was walking, I was singing, I was in song, I was in prayer, I was nature bathing, and I was biohacking my thoughts. I was talking to myself, to my body, to my physical well-being. I was talking to APS, and I invited APS to leave my body. I invited APS to be free, and for me to be free. And oh, what an incredible experience it was. I felt such incredible power, such incredible freedom in a moment, such a release, such a relief for myself. As I said, as I raised my arms and my eyes were closed, and I said, yes, 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 I am healed. Freedom, freedom, yes, freedom, yes, freedom. That's what I'm talking about. That's how we do it. And I said, APS, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had my hands together in prayer. I said, APS, thank you so much for teaching me all that I needed to learn. I appreciate you, but now it's time. It's time for you to be released. It's time for you to be out. It's time for me to have freedom. Time for me to be free. Yes, yes, yes. My friends and family, this isn't something that I have to do alone anymore. This is something that we could do together. If you are suffering, if you are in pain, some type of emotional, mental, or physical disease, we no longer have to choose to live in it. We just have to have the courage to show up, the courage to show up every single day. But I love to refer to as my non-negotiable. My non-negotiables are just that. No compromising. I show up every single day for myself first, and I do my work. I do the work that I have to do that invites me to feel better, invites me to feel stronger emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And when I do decide to take a day off, it's not the same. I do not feel as good as I could. And so there's my invitation to you is show up for yourself today, do some self-care, and just understand that we have the ability, we have the power, we have the mindset. We can heal mind, body, and soul. We just have to take massive action. And the great thing is you don't have to do it alone anymore. You could just show up with me every day. We could inspire one another. Like this morning, Lori was inspired by the energy that she felt coming off from the work I was doing as I was biohacking. And just one last check-in. Rahesh, good to see you. Mayank, good to see you. Anita, thank you for joining me. Lisa, Dennis, good to see you as well. I'm going to jump off now, finish up this hike. I'll give you one last peek of what I get to see in the mornings when I come out here. There you go. And so my closing thoughts of this is dreaming is a beautiful thing. It's beautiful when we have a good dream. It's beautiful when we have an idea of how we want our life to look, what we want out of our life today. But we have to be willing to take action and implement, set the intentions, show up, take massive action in order for our life to get better. It's possible. It can get a whole lot better. We just got to be willing to show up. And so with that, I want to thank you for joining me on a spontaneous live as I continue my own biohacking process of healing my own mind, body, and soul. Have an awesome day, and thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.